what makes me great. Look, I got some things on my mind. I think it's time to lay it out, put the shit on the line. Yeah, a nigga from the middle like Malcolm, I feel inclined to tell you how the narrative been playing all in my mind. But wait, I'll let you breathe if you think you need you a second. Said no man who chases personal legend. We could have landed in jail for things we might have did when we was kids. I think that it's time to talk to the reverend. But damn, how would you feel if you knew that you had nothing? Family good and all, but homie, we wasn't stunting. Inspired by the rappers, some niggas who overcame and ended up getting played by niggas who did the same. Hear it all in they rap that the trappers the one to blame. Steady snap on a nigga who color looking the same. Some of us stand united, I love it simple and plain. It's a small little step that I'm taking over the pain. Look, from this moment I'm going after the profit. Had a little dream that I tucked away in my pocket. I'm here to take a stand and mix it with God's plan. If you feel the same way, then homie, take it my hand. We can rule the world if we started making a brand. I'm feeling re-inspired by my brother taking a stand. I see the death, cancer was flowing throughout the boy, but the weak grew into a beast that you can't destroy, motherfucker. I see why these niggas hating. Ain't no doubt I would not rise to the occasion. It took a second to recognize my personal legend. Everybody got a quirk that should take as a blessing. Oh, I will rise. I will rise. I will rise. I will rise. Yeah. Hold up.
It's cracked. Go ahead.
And gentlemen, to yet another bull sitting on They Said We Said. We got here Mr. Ham Solo, Miss
So,
Cozy Beluga, and the indomitable, mysterious Bushido N7.
Getting comfortable.
Uh,
Tito Jones.
before we start the show, Mr. Bushido, please introduce yourself and say some words for yourself so we know who we're
Yes,
talking to.
I am the Mr. Bushido N7. You can find me on the Twitter, of course, but we have our own podcast also called Doomsayers Den, which should be on in about 2 hours from now. So yeah, I like to hold spaces and I make a lot of jokes. A lot of them aren't funny, but
That's
I
because you're
just
an old dad person.
yeah, as long as it's funny to me, I guess that's the important part though. So yeah,
All
and
right,
I
so
do constantly.
Bushido, let's get it cracking. What's your favorite console? Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo? Which one's the best? No
You mean
neutral question. No neutral answers. Pick one.
inside this generation, or you just mean period, like
Seeing
on
This
gay,
any?
we
gen.
already know
This
that.
gen. This gen.
Oh, this one. Oh, Xbox. Don't get me wrong. I love
You
my
bot.
PS5, my
Looks
Series X.
disappointed. Looks disappointed. I can
Yeah,
see
my
it in his
Series
But
X.
eyes.
Hey
I'm
man,
not
I'm
hating on
wearing
it.
green. What are you
I'm not
talking
hating on the
about?
PS5. I love my
you see
PS5.
this blue? This we bleed blue. We
What up?
bleed blue.
What up, Stank Ma?
Oh man, what up? What up? What up? What up? Okay. Follow up question, Bushido. What's the greatest game of all time in your opinion, and why?
You're not gonna like my answer.
Madden.
It's The Last of Us 2. I
Uh,
just I
Oh,
just felt
break that
like
shit down, bro.
at first I went in with the whole man, this game ain't gonna be good. Everybody was already hating on it, and the first one was great. I loved the first one. So when I heard all the controversy for the second one, I was like, man, oh well, I'll play it anyway because I love The Last of Us. And a quarter way through, I was just sucked in, and halfway through, I was done. I was like, this is a great game, great writing. Um, it was a little bloated, but in all honesty, I'm kind of glad it was because I enjoyed the ride. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
Whew.
Xbox.
Okay. That was not awkward at all. Greatest game
Why
of
would you
all
say
time,
that?
Last of Us.
It's
Okay.
got me
That was
Um.
two.
liked.
That was two.
Okay. Okay. Bushido, what
And
have you
behind
been
that
playing
game is
this
God
last
of
week?
War.
What have you been playing this last week?
I've been playing Outriders a whole lot because I'm trying to get ready for the new expansion.
Oh
But
yeah, we
I
gonna
think
play?
yeah, I could sit it down now, but
Okay.
because I got time, I want to start Horizon. I just keep reaching for it, but then I keep trying to get that certain type of legendary. So I think I've got enough for now, and then I want to finish Horizon. I'll come back to Outriders.
Oh yeah.
All right. Cool. Cool. Ham, what you been playing this last week?
More Devil May Cry 3. I played a little bit of Outriders with Bushido for a minute.
What? And you didn't play with me?
No, it was Boys Club.
Who was even on?
Fine then.
Boys Club.
I hope your dick falls off.
You were not
Oh, my
invited. You were specifically not invited. It was a no pig's feet zone. But anyways, I've been playing that. I've also been playing NBA 2K22 with some friends online. Motorstorm for PS3.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
playing some of that. Yeah, it is a really good game. Let's see. Zone of the Enders. I've been playing some of that.
Another one.
I'm getting into that. And most of all, I've been getting into Mass Effect. I beat 1, and now I'm on 2.
Yes.
It's getting wild.
Yes.
All right.
You'll be converted by 2.
Okay. Cozy, what have you been playing this past week?
Of course. Animal Crossing. I have a little over a week to finish my town revision because my goal is to have it finished by June. And then just Overwatch and No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is is it still fun?
Yeah, I just started it, so
That's another game too.
There's a lot for me to do.
Especially with that new expansion that just dropped. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I tried to jump into No Man's Sky at launch. 6 months later, 1 year later, nothing. For me, it just does not click at all. This past week, I've been playing Yakuza 4. Yeah, pretty much just Yakuza 4.
If you go back into it now,
Big says,
I guarantee you have
sorry?
too much to do. No, I was saying
for me, it's not.
back into it
No,
now.
the issue for me is not like having lots of stuff to do. The gameplay just doesn't click for me. The movement, I don't like the way the camera feels. It feels clunky to me, and it's just so unappealing. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever get into No Man's Sky.
I will say
At Too
that
Big
it does
says,
feel like a game that plays significantly better with keyboard and mouse.
oh
Because that
yeah,
was like
I
the
only
first
use
thing I
controller.
noticed. Was that this
Yeah.
game feels like it would be better on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, maybe that's why it doesn't click for me. At Too Big says, let's go, fam. Welcome to the chat, bruv.
Welcome back.
So, with all the niceties out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Oh yeah. Sorry. Before we start, this week we will not be having quiz time. You can thank Xbox. You can thank Xbox for this one. For the second week in a row, Xbox waits for They Said We Said to announce our slate of topics for Friday. And then on Thursday, they just drop a bomb. For the second week in a row, I swear that someone at Xbox has got a problem with us. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So let's get into it. Number one, Xbox servers down for 4 days. Digital rights management issues. On Friday, May 6th, Xbox's support team confirmed that its servers were experiencing a major outage after users complained that they were unable to purchase or launch games or start cloud gaming sessions. Ham, I'm gonna let you go first on
Why
this
don't you
one.
let the guest go first?
No.
Yeah, that's very rude.
He's going
very
last.
rude.
Yes.
Well,
That's
Loke is
my
a rude
brand.
host.
Rude.
Loke is a
Exactly.
horrible host.
Rude is my brand, guys. Come on. Bushido, sit down. Ham, go first.
Oh my god. Anyways, it sucked. I was trying to play Rocket League, and I also was trying to play 2K22 with some friends, and we couldn't get on for multiple days. So that was pretty whack. It sucks. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. It just kind of is what it is. But this whole DRM thing definitely needs to be figured out so you can at least play the games that are single player that you own and stuff like that without needing online access. I think that's ridiculous because on the Sony side, you don't have to worry about that for the single player games for the most part.
Actually, you do, but okay.
But okay, so then name some games where it's single player and you have to worry about that, other than Gran Turismo.
Okay. Here's some extra information. DRM on consoles. They're on all the consoles that have online purchases. DRM
Sure, but you're not answering my question.
Hang on, let me finish.
You
DRM
building
stands
up.
for
You building up some
digital.
bullshit.
No. I'm painting the whole picture. DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. It's on all consoles and Steam. What happened with Microsoft could happen to any one of these guys. What we should be focusing on right now is not on the fact that Microsoft has DRM. It's on the fact that Microsoft is struggling to keep their DRM online because everyone has DRM. The only people with no DRM is GOG. That's the only platform that sells digital games where when you install it on your platform, you can just play. Everyone else has DRM. The reason why DRM exists is because of people that were jailbreaking consoles, the PS2, PS3, where you could buy a console.
360.
There's people that would open, 360 as well. People could open it, and I don't even know how they did it, but they figured out a way to bypass the certifications and whatever. So you could just take a random disk, put the install files on that disk, and then pop it into your console, and your console would just read it as a proper game that you bought at a store when actually it was fake. So, first off, DRM is here because we we necessitated the creation of it. Second, everyone has DRM. Third, the issue at hand is that Microsoft failed to keep their DRM up. The issue is not that Microsoft has DRM. Carry on.
Okay, so as I said, not every game has a DRM issue, though.
Every game, every console has DRM.
Oh
The
my
only
god!
difference
I
Saying it
is that
understand
isn't.
Sony's.
I understand every console has DRM. Yes, you're right, but not every game has a DRM issue.
Even on both consoles. Not yeah. It's about
Okay.
mainly that, like what you're saying is right, Lock. 100%. 100% is right.
I love
But
that he
with
keeps
hand
saying lock.
Man, you keep pressing on it.
but he's the
You
right to
keep
say something,
saying it.
man. But but with inside this instance, the DRM is when it comes to single player games that aren't stored on a server. The saves aren't stored on a server. If it's a game that saves on a server, you're gonna have issues on PlayStation or Xbox. If it's a game that stores directly to your console and you have a disc, you good to go. But it's hard to tell nowadays because a lot of games are stored on a server. It'll have autosave. You don't have to do anything, and you're living your life like, oh, that's great. It's autosave, but it's going to a server, and if the DRM issue comes up some kind of way where the server goes down, you can't flash the server and say that, hey, this is my disc. Even if you have a disc, even if you have a disc like Outriders, let's
Hmm.
say Outriders, if you have the disc, even though there's a single player, it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a P2P server. So if it can't ping that server and say you have the right to play that game, it's not going to play. Unfortunately, I didn't know yours was down that long, Ham. I was only down for like 8 hours, which
Mine
is
was
like
4
forever to me.
No,
Well, I wasn't
no,
having the
no.
down issues. It was the friends that I was trying to play with, so we couldn't play for a couple
Oh, okay.
days. Is what I'm saying. Like I was down for
Bad.
like similar to you, like 5-6 hours, until I can hop back in. But I mean, that was annoying because I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
that annoying for me because I got a PC as well, so I couldn't play Rocket League on the Xbox. So I just played it on my PC. So it was like a 5 minute ordeal for me. But all in all, it was still annoying. You know, still something I don't want
Yeah.
to see.
I agree.
All right, did Loke? Yep, Loke froze. There he always is. He's
Did he
always
freeze?
got that
How can we
African internet on
Oh,
issue.
don't you have to get hard with that to get more minutes or something like that?
I don't even know.
You know, I have
I
to go down
don't.
to and get one of the cards.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
mother.
yeah. You probably gotta go get some minutes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I sent him. I did send him the rest of what I had of my AOL minutes from way back when I was a kiddo. I had to stop
Okay.
over at my mama's house and go pick up them
Got
discs and
you.
send them
You
to
had to go
him.
pick up the disc.
Yep,
Send him the disc,
yeah, I sent
not
him
the
the
Yo,
disc.
that's
disc.
real old school. Yo, kids would not know. And you like, yeah, we had to get a disc and we had to use it that way. Like, wait, what happens if you lose the disc? You got to get another one. They're like, nah, yeah, yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember the CDs that you used to get a full pack CD from like some, I don't even remember what company it was, but they'd send you a CD. You never knew what it was, but if you opened it, you had to pay for it.
No, I don't remember that.
They used to come in these like cardboard boxes that were like
Wait,
impossible
you
to
talking about
open.
the Sam's Club or it was like a club for music.
Yes.
Yeah. It was an AMC. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah, you're right. And you open it, it's yours. But the thing is, the CDs were more than what CDs were. So in other words, if you went to the mall, a CD was $14. But if they send it to you and you open it, it was like $22.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So, Cozy,
Yeah.
what's
The African
what's your
internet.
take on?
All this.
Man, bite me, Cozy. What's your what's your take on this whole DRM thing? Am I
Um.
just capping for Xbox, or is it
Yeah,
fair
you
to say
are.
that this is an industry problem?
This is an issue. It's an issue
That's
with
Yeah.
the industry.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Loke's green coat is having a DRM issue
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, you bought.
Oh my god.
Should have never wore that jacket. Now you got some internet issues.
Oh my god. Whatever, man.
That's what you get.
Whatever. Okay. Um let's keep it moving.
I honestly think so I have the issue. I wouldn't know though because I game share, so I'm not gonna be able to tell. Like, so I knew I had the issue and that I was affected.
Okay, so side note on this one. No one I know in Africa had the same issue.
It's because it wasn't as widespread as as people are saying. It wasn't really super
Probably.
widespread because
Probably.
amongst the game group that I game with, I was the only one affected.
Okay, so was it really an issue then? If everyone here is like, oh, I only had it for like 4 hours, and then most people are like, yeah, I didn't even have an issue.
Well, the
Is
thing
this
is,
something
Loke,
we should
is
be
yes,
talking
it is.
about then?
It is still an issue because it was a limited service issue that spread on for days, and those people that were
days,
in
to be
that
specific.
limited, yeah, days. Either way, however you want to put it, it was for
Hey man,
days.
I
And
hate to be the selfish guy in the chat, bro.
well, you
but
already are.
this is a bit. I feel like this is a big win, guys. Like there was an outage, and it seems like everyone in Africa was unaffected. I'm just saying. For the first time, maybe it was a good thing to be in the motherland. That's all I'm saying.
I was gonna
Really?
say. I mean,
Really?
isn't Africa where internet comes from? Isn't that
Oh
right?
God.
Everyone knows
Oh,
Africa's
God.
not real.
Bill Gates had to.
No!
It's
Bill
a
Gates had to
deep
get
state
rights.
Cozy,
Listen,
you did not
I
just
just
say
want
that
Luke to
everyone
tell me
knows
where
Africa is
Wakanda
not
is.
real.
It's
Wait,
it's
wait,
part of the
wait,
deep
wait.
state.
I can't find it.
Oh my God. Ed Sensei says the Texan internet might be acting up.
It
He
is.
says he was out for a couple of days. I'm telling you, man, this outage was just in America. It was just in America.
No, it
Thank.
wasn't.
I don't know how long I was out for, but I think I only noticed for 4 hours.
I do know some, Risk It and Jedi Peter and guys, that play over seas. Red Dead Panda, she's in New Zealand. They didn't have it. They didn't even hear about this issue either. So I wonder if it was statewide, but that's just a small circle of, people outside of the.
Oh,
No,
say,
No, no,
can you
no,
see?
it wasn't. It was in London as well, or in England.
it was a lesson too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
in England
I
as
do think
well.
it was limited, but I think like Ham is trying to say, it is still an issue because it's an issue when it affects you, and it did affect me. Look, now I can speak because it did affect me. It affected me for a few hours, but at the same time, it was really annoying because I never was told it was an issue. I had to go on Twitter to find out, and
Yeah,
it,
because when I
Yeah,
first
yeah.
noticed I was having the problem, I actually checked their outage page, and it didn't say anything about it. Um, and I checked back like 2 hours later, and it still didn't say anything about it.
right, me
Okay.
too, right.
Let's quickly jump to the chat. Ed Stankmos, excuse me. Ed Stankmos says we were good on PS5. Guys, uh, let's
That's
go
because
down this
you
road
guys don't have your
together.
own servers.
Let's go down road. Let's go down this road together. Remember how everyone, like the PS5 zealots, are like, Xbox has no games. No one plays Xbox. It's a dead console. How about the whole gaming world stopping because Xbox had an outage? Does that tell you that people are playing Xbox? Hmm.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, if you minus the fans, I feel like fanboys hold up Xbox by themselves. They constantly are talking about it. I mean, perfect avenue for advertising right there, constantly. Because if you keep talking about how shit something is, people are gonna want to see what that shit
Yeah,
is, and then they're gonna be like,
that
"Oh,
is
this
true.
is not actually shit. This is actually pretty
It
dope."
is. It's not that
So,
bad. Yeah. Yeah.
so as much as you can get mad at fanboys or frustrated, just remember they're hoisting up your your piece of plastic, and they don't even
You were
know
about
it.
to say garbage. You were about to say garbage.
No, I
Honestly,
wasn't
You were
about to
this
say
close to
garbage.
saying garbage.
I mean,
I really wasn't. I don't know where you're getting that. You're just being
yeah,
toxic.
like because I did come from like I guess playing on PlayStation. I would have never even noticed because I didn't game share when I was on PlayStation, and I also didn't ever
Hmm.
play anything but single player games. So I didn't. It was just like so it wouldn't have been something that I even noticed. In fact, the one time where I learned never attach any of your financial information to a PlayStation console was after my account got compromised.
Damn.
I think that could happen with anybody, but I have to admit, my mindset's the same way. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna put this on there, even though even inside my head, I know that could happen to anybody.
Yeah, I'll never do it again. I'll never put my so I like then after that I switched
Yeah,
to
these
just using gift
PayPal.
cards. But so it's not like so the thing is I only noticed because I game share and because and I think the other thing for me it was a really weird outage because while I was experiencing the outage, I could not play cloud games on the Xbox, on my phone, but could play them on computer. Like I could just like
What?
stream from the cloud on my computer, but not on my Xbox or my phone,
Okay.
which doesn't
Nice.
make any sense.
That's
Like
Isn't there
literally the
that's
rumor
same
really
or the
game.
weird.
story that because of Fortnite being cloud based, why that happened?
It's not true. It's not true.
Okay, I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised. In
a
all
whole bunch,
honesty,
a
though.
whole bunch of people, yeah, but a whole bunch of people, credible people, came out saying that it wasn't true. Like
Okay.
Jez Gordon, what's that face? That
Going
dude
to
that
what?
keeps blocking everyone.
Oh,
Um,
Oh, what's the name? Jason Schreier.
yeah.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. A
listening
whole
to him,
bunch of
but
these guys.
yeah,
I like how you
I
refer
think
to him as a
Man,
dude that keeps blocking
come
everyone.
on. He's not. He
yeah,
can't be. He can't be wrong
exactly.
about everything.
He's so butt sensitive, man. He's irritating.
I don't even know who this is.
He's like the top name in terms of
I've
video game
literally
journalism.
never seen his name. Let me.
But anyways,
Oh.
the thing Cozy was
Right.
saying about the PC and her cloud on phone and the Xbox is because all of those cloud games and whatnot are running off of Xboxes.
No, but that's what made it
Before.
weird. I could cloud game on my PC,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
but not on my phone or
the
the same
PC.
game.
I'm pretty sure the PC servers are not running the same as your
They are.
cloud and
But
Xbox.
even
Are
so,
they?
it's probably
Yep, it's all the same cloud.
let's put it this way. Let's say you have 1,000 servers in a space, which they have more than that. But let's say you have 1,000 servers. If you had 10 of them go down, 25, 50, that's how you can get a small pocket of people that'll be affected. I don't even know how many
Losing
people
their
are on
shit.
one server. You understand what I mean? So if you have just a few down, just a few, that's enough to affect enough people for it to make news.
So pretty much what you're saying is her PC could have been connecting to a different server compared to what her
Right.
phone and Xbox was
Right.
connecting to.
That could, yeah, that would make sense.
Because it was limited. It wasn't a complete down service.
Yeah,
It was just a
yeah.
limited outage.
I was just like weird. I was just like, I know this is like uses the Xbox, like PC uses Xbox servers, so I was like, that's weird that it still connects. But yeah, that makes sense because I was like, oh yeah. And I did only try my phone once, so it could have just been the one time.
Oh my God.
But
Why
yeah,
don't you say that the first time?
what?
No, I'm messing with you. I
I'll
said, why
fight
don't
you.
you say it the first time?
No, I'll fight
I know you will.
Right. Moving on. Um, the big one that completely scuppered our thumbnail. Starfield and Redfall delayed until 2023. And I quote, Bethesda Softworks has delayed Starfield, its highly anticipated sci-fi RPG, and Redfall, Arcane Studios' vampire-themed shooter, to the first half of 2023, the company said Thursday morning. Both games had been expected to launch this year. In a statement on Twitter, isn't it crazy? Giant trillion-dollar companies now make announcements on Twitter. The Microsoft-owned publisher said the teams at Arcane Austin and Bethesda Game Studios have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. Mr. Bushido, go.
Oh, how
Oh, yeah.
kind. How kind of you.
Let him
Oh,
go
Bite me,
first.
him.
Aw.
Bite me.
I think I got my flowers on that one. So, in that instance, we had a space this morning, me, Umbra, and well, Umbra did really, and yeah, my issue wasn't that the game got delayed. My issue was earlier this year, they put out a press release saying the game was finished.
Yup.
The game was ready, and it's in a playable state, and they're only polishing the game up. So I was like, oh man, they got plenty of time that if they catch a bug or anything, that they'll be able to fix it, and we should be good to go. That's what bothered me the most because I was already out defending it, like, no, listen, I already said it, and it it it, it doesn't irritate me, but it bothers me that you said that. And I know stuff happens, but it still bothered me that I was already confident the game was coming out, like 100% confident the game was coming out.
When you
And
say
but
the
Redfall,
game, are you talking about Starfield?
we say again?
Yeah, he's talking about
When you
that.
say the game, are you talking about Starfield?
Yeah, I'm talking about Starfield. I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. Starfield was
Okay,
the one
so
that bothered me.
you don't care. You don't care
Redfall, I
about
didn't
Redfall.
think would be ready.
You didn't say that, Lo.
Sorry.
You didn't say that.
Did say what? What did you say?
Let him
Wait,
answer the
wait,
question.
what's the question?
I'm saying since you spent like your first 2 minutes on your soliloquy focused on Starfield, does that mean
Oh,
you don't give
really?
a shit about
Or
Redfall?
So now it's a soliloquy. That's what it is now.
Soliloquy.
Yeah, that's what it
You
is.
just use it in
I
a
can say
sentence. Can you
soliloquy.
spell it?
Solocacrete.
No, I
Okay,
don't think you can
rant.
spell it.
Rant. Okay, on your rant,
I'm mad
Christ.
about. I'm older, so I'm more patient and understand how things work. But at the same time, I
Okay.
was mad that you said the game was ready, and I'm disappointed that you said the game was ready and it's not ready. Redfall, I didn't actually one care about, and two, I didn't think would be ready. So it didn't phase me any. So I was like, yeah, I didn't think so. Contraband. Now that surprised me hearing that was going to get pushed back. I didn't think it was coming out this year at all. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Ham, go.
Wait, they say that they're delaying contraband, but I thought, yeah, never mind.
Let
Yeah,
Cozy
that's
go
what I
first
remember
because
hearing
I'm
it.
frustrated.
All right, Cozy, go.
Why are you frustrated?
No, I
I'm
don't
about
want.
to rip into this one.
Yeah, you go
Um,
first.
Okay, so
At least
all
get the
I'm gonna
lube
say
out, man.
is, you know what they could have had, and it probably wouldn't have taken as much work to make a new Viva Pinata.
Still, we're talking about Viva Pinata.
Listen, Lo, you
You
got
know
people
what?
that still talk about banjo, and I still can't stand hearing about banjo, and I'm like, why?
You know what? Okay, Cozy, finish. Go ahead.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna let you
saying,
finish. Like, tell me.
it's like they didn't have a plan. It's a big problem. You can get away with a lot if you have a plan, but no Viva Pinata.
I
Don't
swear, I
choke,
thought she was
love.
talking
Don't
about
choke.
Starfield. I swear, I thought she was talking about Starfield, and then she just segues right back to Viva Pinata.
So
Oh
the
man.
thing is, I fully expected like Starfield and Redfall to be delayed. It's like, but what else do you have? You know, you should have like B teams working on things. I guess fortunately I have faith in like at least Obsidian, and that's the one I care about. I'm curious to see what In Exile is doing.
Me too. Yeah.
But a lot of it, it's like, I know games take time to make, but you know, maybe have studios concentrate on small, fun games. Like Viva
Small.
Pinata could have been a small, fun game.
You're
I
not gonna
swear
let
you
that
do
go,
this
huh?
just to trigger me. You just do
Well,
that to trigger me. You know what? Let's go to the chat for a minute. Ed Stankmore says, I was ready to buy a Series X when they said it was finished. Wow. People buying consoles because of one game? For real?
yes.
Damn.
People do that.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not like that either. But hey,
Like, I was this close to getting Breath of the Wild, and then my niece spoiled me the thingy, the Switch, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
I'm not
Ham,
like that. Yeah.
Please, enter the chat.
Well, if you currently look at our YouTube right now, you may see a person right next to me.
A person right next to you?
Yes. There is a person right next to me that I feel like I'm going to react similar like.
Jeez, man.
With that being said, see, now this is fantastic because this is showing how much these guys are actually following what's going on in the show and the chat and everything like that. It's fantastic. No attention is being paid. But anyways, I got my boy Skip Bayless right next to me because I'm finna go in about Xbox right now.
You're about to hate on
I
Xbox.
feel like yes. And the reason I kind of decided to add his picture next to mine is because they remind me of the Cowboys.
Okay.
Xbox reminds me of the freaking Cowboys.
This is gonna take a minute, guys.
Every time we have something big, something dope, something that could change gaming, we shoot ourselves right in the foot. Every single freaking time. Drives me insane. We talk about, oh, Starfield's done, we're just polishing it up. Oh, Halo is, the co-op is coming soon. oh, more content's coming soon. You know, I mean, Scalebound's coming. I mean, how many years of nonsense can Xbox...
Nonsense.
Yes. I mean, I understand Scalebound is on another level because that game got completely canceled. So that game is on the highest of fuckery. That game is on the highest point of the fuckery for Xbox, in my eyes. But I feel like Xbox cannot stop tripping themselves. They show this, they show Starfield and Redfall last year. They didn't announce this stuff to be coming out. They didn't give dates or time frames about this stuff coming out before the pandemic. They did it during the pandemic, where we already knew how fast stuff was going around or how slow we were able to develop and everything like that. You know, it's okay if you have a delay every once in a while, you know, especially for big games like Starfield. I don't put it past them to need to delay something like this, just like a God of War, just like Horizon, big games like that. But the confidence that you guys come out with your chest all out, 11/11/22 is the day. You know, mark it on your calendars. I'm pretty solid or else I wouldn't have said it. Like, stop. Xbox, please. Can you please stop telling everybody what you're going to do before you're certain that you're going to do it? Because I feel like the fans have kind of had enough of being told one thing and then getting another. And that's kind of where my head is at with it.
Jesus. You did sound like Skip for a minute. Out here acting like it's the end of the freaking world. Let's go to the chat for a minute.
How did I act like it's the end of the world? No. I want to question you now, Luke, because you're questioning everybody on the panel. No. We're coming up to it right now, sir. We're coming up to it right now, sir. Because this whole thing, this whole thing where everyone's like, oh, if you're frustrated or if you're mad, it's not the end of the world. And nobody that's complaining about this said it's the end of the world. Nobody, in fact, said this game is gonna suck, or that this game shouldn't have been announced at all, or anything like that. What I'm strictly saying is the way that Xbox markets is ass. They market in a very horrible way, in my opinion. They are very inconsistent, and it's frustrating. Now, I want you to tell me what part of that signifies I'm saying it's the end of the world.
I'll get back to you.
Think about
Starfield has been in development for like 10 years now. This comment at Stankmore, this comment is the epitome of hyperbole or hyperbole. I don't know how you pronounce it. And I think it's a good example. Ham, the reason, okay, maybe I'm I'm definitely extrapolating too much from your comment, because what you're saying is that you're very frustrated. But the reason why I'm challenging the whole end of the world scenario is because that's how most people are projecting it as. It's like, oh, Xbox is probably going to shut their doors by 2025 at this rate.
I mean that's over the top for sure, because I mean they have years worth of stuff in the works, and I personally think it's going to be fantastic when it all rolls out. But what I don't like happening is somebody constant. It will be, but you're just a hater. But anyways,
whatever.
Anyways, what I don't like is this. With the consistent false starts, false start. We never actually go when the gun is shot. We always kind of trip, and then we're running behind everybody else, trying to catch up, and it's annoying, man. Just keep your mouth
When
shut.
you say we,
Just what I
when
mean
you
is
say
like,
we, no. Hold
okay,
on,
go ahead,
hold on, hold
go
on.
ahead,
When you
go
say
ahead.
we, are you talking about Team Xbox? Are you Team Xbox?
For the most part, I've always been first and foremost on Xbox, and then everything else kind of fell to the wayside. So yeah, I guess if you want to throw me in a box, sure.
We, okay. Listen, as
I'm
far
a
as the
big
full stats
Xbox
are
fan.
concerned, as far as the full stats are concerned, 100% I'm with you, dude. 100%. I thought the Gears of War thing completely obliterated PS3 because for me, PS3 just had what's it? They just had MGS4. That's my point of view. That's all it had. That console had no appeal outside of the outside of MGS4. The 360 was amazing. It looked like they were going to explode. Xbox One was a dud. Series X, everyone thinks with the Game Pass and Phil Spencer, oh, this is going to be amazing. And now we got all this cack. And as a Laker fan, 100%, I understand the whole false stats thing. But for me, my point of view on this whole thing is everyone does delays. And in the moment, everyone is like super frustrated. But then when you give it time, it all ends up shaking, like thing works out. I mean, Nintendo does it, PlayStation does it. It's just Microsoft that are doing it now. The only difference is Microsoft doesn't have like that gigantic catalog of just mind blowing exclusives. Well, when PlayStation does it, it's fine because it's Ragnarok. It's of course it's going to be amazing. When Nintendo does it, it's Zelda, so it's fine. When Xbox does it, it's like yeah, but they also delayed Halo and they should have delayed it even more. You know,
Right.
so
They could have had Viva
for me,
Pinata.
oh god.
Hey, look,
So
look.
for me,
One thing Matt likes games and I were talking about yesterday when we were just chatting on the Xbox party is the reason I believe Xbox is really bad at like marketing and rolling stuff out is because I mean, yeah, you can say look at Halo, but I want you to look a little deeper at Halo. Let's actually move Halo 6 months or 7 months forward and let's talk
it's
about
still
the
not
way
ready.
that whatever. I mean, they would have definitely had more stuff ready, and they wouldn't have had to deal with people constantly complaining, trying to get stuff fixed. Now, you know what I mean. If they rolled it out
Mm.
later, they could have just dealt with that stuff as it came. But what I'm trying to bring up is Forza launched, right? Remember, like it was like November 8th or
That was
9th or
awesome.
something like that.
That was
Great game.
awesome.
Great game. I played the living hell out of that game, right? Got to like level 160 in a couple weeks or 3, 4 weeks or whatever. And then Halo comes out and I'm just like, why? I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that it came out because it's a fun game and the story to me was phenomenal. But in my eyes, I was like, why are we coming out with games right on top of each other? And then what are we going to have next year, really? Like, what's solidified that we're having? So, in my eyes, I was like, why didn't they push this out further? Because by the time Halo came out, and I got as far as I did in Forza, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I got the season pass and everything. I didn't have enough time to figure out, how the season pass really works, really dig into the game before another game was thrown into my lap. So I feel like they could have spaced that out a little bit and said, hey, figure out this game
Yeah,
completely. And then we'll have Halo
yeah,
baking for a little bit because this game just got a freaking, 92, 93, right?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
must play game. So let it sit on its own for a little while, get all them players and whatnot, create more hype for Halo, get it fixed up because it clearly wasn't ready when it came out, and then drop it in a better condition than it is now down the road, have enough hype,
yeah.
and then
And
immediately go into the event. I thought
And
Me and Matt were talking about that, and I thought that would have been a fantastic idea. And it's weird coming from people that aren't, getting paid by Microsoft. To me, it seems almost like a duh
also,
situation that they didn't do.
it's also kind of embarrassing for like someone that supports Xbox to look at the stupidity of the situation. Everyone is ragging on PlayStation for launching Horizon next to Elden Ring, but it's actually not. It wasn't actually as bad as as Xbox launching Forza and Halo in such close proximity, because Horizon is still going to sell well
No.
because it's a PlayStation exclusive. So everyone that's on PlayStation, they're going to get Elden Ring as their usual third party great game, but as far as their first party exclusives, they're also going to prioritize Horizon. Whereas Xbox, because their system is different in terms of purchasing, with Xbox, the customers purchase more time than the actual games. What Xbox did was defeat itself by releasing Forza and Halo in like 2 months. So now you're forcing people to either stick with Forza or immediately jump to Halo, because half of what Halo is the online. And if you don't get on day one, then it's an uphill battle. If you like, oh no, let me stay on Horizon, and then I'll make time for Halo next year. So they shot themselves in the foot, definitely
Can I
in
push back
terms
on
of
that a little bit?
the release times.
Can I push
What's up,
back on that a
Bashida?
little bit?
Go ahead, go ahead, go
Um,
ahead, go ahead.
I think that's a little off because when you look at the situation with Horizon and GT, they both were released within just about the same proximity. I think the issue for Horizon was and is Elden Ring, but I'm surprised that the sales, as far as the numbers are concerned, they must not be that good because they're not seeing anything. And Sony, in a real hot minute, will say something. And
Well,
I
in a
forgot
bit.
who I was talking to in the space that they were like, if the sales aren't good, most of the time they'll bundle them inside of console sales. And I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, but I don't think it's like that though. And sure enough, they're being bundled now inside console sales. So it's not that the game is bad. I just don't understand or know why it's not selling as high as I guess they would want to. Because we all agree that if
What's
the
not
numbers
selling?
were great, we all agree that Sony would have said something, right?
Oh,
Necessarily.
Horizon?
Yeah, for Forbidden West.
Not
No, they would
necessarily. It could still be great, just not like as great as they expected for investors and
Right, that's
stuff.
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. If the numbers were great, let's say 10 million, 10 million copies, they would have said something. They haven't said anything. Not even how it sold the first month, the first week or whatever. They haven't said anything. I don't think that the game sold badly. I just was wondering why haven't they said anything. But it still goes in the same thing with Horizon and Halo. It's the same thing. They both were released within the same, just about the same proximity with each other. The only problem with Halo is since Halo is a game that people return to constantly, it's not enough content. If they were to release Forge, that would have shut everything up. Forge community would have given you so much content, but
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what's going on. I
Free
really wish
content.
I did. Yeah, it just, but they gave us the. Don't get me wrong, the game is still a good game. It's just that it's like once you played it so many times and so many different the same maps, it gets a little monotonous. The game is still good. The campaign I thought was fantastic. I really like the campaign a lot. But the I would like for them to at least release Forge and X and co-op. That would save a lot as far as
Yeah,
going
co-op
forward.
for me, it's a big L. That's a big L.
Yeah, so when you play this game screams co-op. I've never cared
Yeah,
about co-op before in a Halo game, but I played a half an hour into the game and I was like, yo, this game really does feel like somebody should be playing with you.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So are we done? Ham. Are we done? Can we move on?
I don't know, man. I mean, I mean, there's just so many
This man's
things.
hurt.
Like,
Dude,
yeah,
I
I
removed
am.
this time. So take
I'm
your time,
pretty.
bro. Take
I'm
your
pretty
time.
disappointed about it all in all, just because it's just like, to
I am
me,
too.
it's like a stigma
It
that
is.
Xbox cannot get rid of. It's like a
Get right.
freaking bug. Like it's like, man, like I feel like I'm getting over being sick, and then you try to go to work and you realize you're still sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
that's just the way I
Damn.
look at it.
Have given us.
Xbox is an illness, ladies and gentlemen.
see, look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing.
If they just given us like Viva Pinata, we wouldn't have this problem. I'm right, and you guys know I'm right.
Okay, Cozy.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, guys? Let's not have a disingenuous conversation. Cozy, please, the floor is yours. Give us, in 2 minutes, give us why Viva Pinata is so freaking great. Please.
Because who does not like to, excuse you, who does not like to collect and find
Like
new
that.
pinata creature friends?
That's it. That's what you
I'm
got.
sorry. Not like that. That wasn't right. Locke, I think you should apologize, man.
Who needs to apologize?
I think you should apologize. You
Why?
put Coach in the spot, and
Bro,
she,
no. If you capping for something, right? If you capping for something, at some point someone's gonna say, okay, everybody stop. Let's
That's
listen to this person.
saying,
And
I'm
Cozy
saying,
has been
I'm
talking about
saying,
Viva Pinata for 3 weeks. For the
and
last
the
3
reason I
weeks,
say that is
we
because
will be talking
you
about
could make.
something, and Cozy will find a way to push it to Viva Pinata. So I'm just
I'm
saying, I
saying
want
this
to move the
because
hell on
it
from
it
this
could be one
pinata. I
game
have nothing
that
against
you could make.
Mexicans or their traditions, okay?
What?
But
I
Cozy,
don't know the way
I
you said
need
that. Sounds
you.
like you said.
I need you to
No
follow
one was
through.
talking about
Let's
Mexicans.
get to the
Excuse
end of this.
cancel,
Let's
sir.
let's.
Cancel. We weren't talking
I'm
about Mexico.
canceled. I'm
Yeah.
canceled. I live in Africa. Good luck. The fuck?
Too bad.
We
Like,
don't do that around here.
shut
We
off your
disagree,
internet.
and then we move on. That's what we do around here. We
But
don't take people's jobs.
Loke is like, us
We don't
Africans are
take their
naturally
homes.
racist.
I think
Oh
I
my
think the problem
god.
is like, I mean, most games are going to be
Okay, guys, hold on. X Tank Law says Viva Pinata was low key heat.
That's what I'm
Okay, Ham,
saying.
is there a way to ban Bankmall from the chats? Because
No, keep him here because he's spitting facts.
no one knows. I'm serious. Neither Stankmore, no Cozy. No one knows how to quantify what makes Viva Pinata so great. All they
Asking
can
what
say is
makes
it
Animal
was
Crossing
awesome.
great. I can't really
It was
describe it,
great.
but
That's
it's
all
just an
everyone says.
unique,
Okay,
enjoyable.
tell me why. If you ask
I
me,
can't.
I'll tell you
It's
why
just like,
MGS is so fantastic. You gotta
yes,
tell me why
that's what
Viva
I'm
Pinata is
saying.
good.
It's just, you know, a game that fills your heart with joy, and I think that's what they need more of. Like, you know, and a game like Viva Pinata wouldn't even be super hard to make. You just follow the template that's already there, make a new one. It doesn't have to be the best looking game, because it's like a game for like people that aren't going to really care, and it's not even stylized to be great. But it would be a
You're
game
not
that you
selling
throw
it,
out there.
Cozy.
What?
Real quick
You're not
question.
selling it.
Real
All
quick
right, go
question.
ahead, Bushido.
Which one of you guys is that you, Luke, with the tropical birds on the outside like that?
Me. That's me.
Nah, that's Cozy.
Nah, you sure?
Yes.
Oh God, because I'm in Africa, I have tropical birds.
No, I didn't say. See, you said that. You
Jeez.
said that. I didn't say that.
All right,
You did. I just
Ham.
was asking a
What?
question.
He's
I didn't
not
know
really
where
in
you were
Africa. Africa doesn't have internet.
Oh God, Ham. Quick reminder: we still have that bet about Redfall.
Oh, I know. I mean, you're the one that should be worried. I'm not worried about it.
What? It just got delayed, bruv. That's not a good sign.
Wait,
I
what's
mean,
the
to
best
me,
part
that's
of
a good
Redfall?
sign, right? It should
No,
get delayed to
Cyberpunk
get.
got delayed. Cyberpunk got delayed. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'm just saying, based on everybody's knowledge about, oh man, delay, it must need a delay. It must need a delay is fine. I'm just saying, if it needs a delay, it must be because it's making it better, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure they're making it better. I'm sure they're making it better. Personally, okay, I have to say this one, and it might sound like a low blow to Bethesda or whatever, but I have to be real. Starfield's being made on the Creation Engine too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for anyone that played Fallout 4, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying that engine needs to be abandoned. And the Unreal Engine showcase for me is just more proof that guys, let's just move the hell on from the Creation Engine, you know? And these guys keep going with the Creation Engine. And for me, that's what gives me cause for pause as far as Starfield's concerned. I'm not saying Starfield's gonna be bad. Please don't kill me in the comments. I'm just saying I'm done with the Creation Engine. That's that,
Conservation.
that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I can't even argue it. Yeah, I can't argue it.
Yeah, Ed Stankmore says it's all good. Loke's a Laker fan. Lots of pent up anger. Oh,
That's facts, though. Those are
man.
facts.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it sounded like you read you a little bit on that one.
You know what? You know what?
He's
I'm not a
spitting.
front runner. I'm not a front runner, so it's fine. It's fine. I can take what's it been? 7 years of losing seasons. That is fine. I will
See,
survive
the
this.
reason Loke has his camera pointing up is because he doesn't want you to see all his Westbrook gear behind him. He got all that Westbrook
West
paraphernalia.
brick,
Like you look
bruv.
down on that.
West
That's not
brick.
okay.
West brick. All right, my house was built by Russell.
Ooh.
Okay, all those threes that he kept chucking at the crypto
Oh,
center. Russell built my house. Okay, so thank you, Russell
Oh
Westbrook.
no!
ooh.
I'm keeping on, man. Maybe you can build my next warehouse. I'm trying to build one in the north of Mozambique, so keep
Man,
going,
you
bro.
are doing it today.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Was that too much, guys? Is that too much? Y'all are sensitive, okay?
I thought that was
Y'all are sensitive.
fantastic. I thought it was funny.
And I agree
Yeah.
with you though. Westbrook is a great talent, but man, a guy you would think a guy who plays so long, his IQ would show up on the court. The guy just really just that's not
Guys,
a talent.
guys, Westbrook. I'm sorry, Cozy. I'm sorry. I know you're not a big fan of sports ball, but I have to say this, guys. Westbrook is the personification of that phrase. Age does not bring wisdom. Okay,
Mm.
Westbrook could play for another 50 years. This guy would never crack 30% on 3-point shots. Like God could bless him with the body that he has right now, not let it deteriorate until for the next 50 years. Russell Westbrook would never maintain 30% from three. That's how
30.
bad he is.
Mm,
30. I'm not even talking about 35 or 40 like Steph. No. 30. Moving
mm.
on. So yes, Stankmore, lots of pent up anger. Okay. I've Oh my God, let's not
It's being
start.
displayed.
Let's
It's
move
being displayed.
on.
Yes, sir.
Moving the hell on. Let's move on to a joyous subject, which is video games. Specifically, Epic Games store free games for May 2022. The first game is Jotun. I think I'm butchering that. Jotun Valhalla Edition coming out May 12th. And Prey coming out May 12th as well. Uh, Cozy, what do you think about these additions to Epic Games?
You know what? Like all those Epic games, since I've started actually collecting them, I collect them and never touch them. So this is cool. Thanks, Epic.
You haven't played any of them, not one,
No,
not even GTA. I think they gave away GTA sometime last year.
no. I've never downloaded
No.
them, never touched them. I have no interest in GTA, and you know this.
Okay, I'm
No,
just saying. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Bushido, what do you think about these new games coming to the Epic Games free games for May?
Since I'm getting a Steam Deck, I like it, but It doesn't really phase me that much because getting a Steam Deck, knowing that they're gonna have an app for Game Pass, it doesn't really, But I think for anybody else, if you haven't played Prey is a good game. Prey is a really,
I
really
still
good game.
That
haven't.
If you want
game.
to do it.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
it's a
game.
good game.
I was
Yeah,
just
I'm with
looting.
Cozy on that.
I
Fuck
was
that
just
game.
looting, and then something turned into a monster, and I thought it was like a briefcase to loot things, and it just was like, I'm gonna be a monster, and then I was like,
Some
threw
weird
the
jump
controller.
scares.
No.
Yeah,
Cozy
it
has
will get you some
Prey
jump scares you shouldn't even get. You're like, oh,
trauma.
come on. But it's
Cozy
a
has
good game,
Prey
though.
trauma.
Pretty trauma.
Okay. Ham, go.
I don't give a fuck about Prey. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like,
Jotun Valhalla Edition.
don't care about that either. That's cool that some people
Damn.
are going to be able to enjoy it, but I don't care about either one of those games. Prey, Prey got on my goddamn nerves. Like, I was just tired of like running out of ammo and then I don't know. It just wasn't. It just wasn't
Wow.
that. I mean, it was pretty looking. It was cool. The monsters I thought were interesting, but I just didn't like the gunplay in that game at all. It didn't keep me around. I moved on pretty quickly. I played it for like, I want to say like 6 hours, and then I was just like, nope, I'm not getting into this.
So Prey is on it's in my backlog list, and you guys basically are just dumping on it. You know that
Not
what that
Bushido.
does to
Bushido
me?
likes it.
That makes me really want to play. Oh, Bushido, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was a good game.
So what's the issue with the ammo? What's the issue with the ammo? Because what Ham is talking about, I saw a lot of people comment about that when the game launched. What's the trick with the ammo?
I have no idea because that's why I said that him jokingly that sounded like a bad
You
management.
played it on easy, didn't you?
But at
You
the same
played
time,
it on easy.
No.
Yes, that's why he didn't run out of ammo.
Nah,
Guys in the chat, he played it on easy.
Open a mirror if I did.
Ed K Mega says, "Damn, Prey wasn't bad."
Right?
No, it looks
Yeah,
fantastic
so
and everything.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you can handle the gunplay, you'll get through it, no problem. But for me, I did not like it.
I didn't hate it. It wasn't that I hated it. It was just that I didn't know what I was playing when I started playing it. I went in completely blind, and then I was like, "You should have told me this was a horror game. I wouldn't have touched it."
Oh, it's a horror game.
It's a horror game. Don't listen to him.
So
It's a horror game.
just remove it. I'll just remove it from my backlog. I'm good. I'm not gonna play Prey.
I told you a briefcase turned into a monster when I tried to loot it.
I don't know, like your perception of monster. I mean, come on.
It was started doing like this, and then it turned into something. It crawled at me.
But last week she was trying to open up a 3-year-old can of pig's feet and eat it last time on air. So I don't know if I'd listen to her on that.
I do have a 5-year-old can of oysters.
Cozy, Bushido got you on that one. You be eating monsters live on stream. You're talking about Prey. No. Bushido, that's a good point. Cozy, go and finish Prey. Okay? You live with monsters. And
I don't like it.
Eat the damn thing.
It's
you
creepy.
Eat the damn thing.
It's a creepy game.
Or maybe what's creepy is that you can't eat the monsters on Prey. Is that the issue? That was a low blow. I'm sorry, Cozy. That was a low blow. My bad.
Started doing like this. It was like and changing into something else, and that's when I was like, no.
He is right. It does that. It does do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I swear, I think it's because she couldn't eat it. That's my take on this one. All right, guys. We're about to get a bit serious. Okay. Actually, it's going to get really serious. And before we get into it, I would like to preface this by saying I don't want no middle ground. Okay. Everybody go extreme left or extreme right. Don't nobody stay in the middle.
Okay.
Here we go. Bungie issues a statement in support of Roe v. Wade. And I quote,
God. Here we go.
Destiny 2 creator Bungie has released a statement via its blog opposing the decision made by the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Destiny 2 developer did not hold back on the matter, claiming the decision is a blow to freedom in America by taking away women's rights to choose what happens with their bodies. Bungie states that it stands in solidarity with the fundamental rights of women and their choice to decide what happens with a pregnancy and plans to remain committed to safeguarding the freedom and privacy of its employees. Bushido, go.
Oh man, you asked me first, and because it didn't give me a chance to calm down
Yeah,
and
talk
think
about
it
a
No,
courtesy.
see, yeah, see, this is see, there's certain things about me that I shouldn't speak, but I am gonna speak because you asked for left or right, so I'm gonna say that I'm playing devil's advocate then. So
no,
the
no, no,
issue
no,
I
no, no.
have is
I'm devil's advocate because I'm the host. Give us your honest opinion and take
so
on
anyway,
this one.
so the what I'm gonna say is this: what bothers me
I
is
will mute you.
game company getting in the middle of this, regardless of whether you speak out on it or not, even if it's Microsoft, even if it's Amazon, it doesn't matter whether if you say anything. This is all for creds. That's
Publicity.
all. This is not for legitimate reasons. This is all about credibility. Now, somebody might believe in this at the office there, and they wanted to speak out on it because they felt strongly about it. But if I was over top of everybody else, I'm like, no, 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 keep that out. That's something that's
Cares
private for
about
anybody else.
me.
No, 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 no. This is a private matter for whoever is dealing with it. That's why I can
Oh,
deal with
here
it.
we
That's
go. Here
one
we
because I'm
go.
a man. I'm a man. I shouldn't have it. I shouldn't have any real say in it anyway. But at the same time, I wouldn't as a company. I wouldn't put myself inside a position as a company to say something that can cause me to lose shareholders or things like that. Because regardless of whatever I say, it's
Support.
not going to make any difference. Right. Secondly, I will say that it does bother me one thing though, because when you do have something that really matters, that if you say something on it, no one says anything on. But what about police brutality in our country? We have bad police brutality in our country, ain't even just about race. It is just police brutality,
Yep.
period. And nobody ever wants to speak out on that. Oh, that's not the popular thing to speak out on. But whatever's
Especially about
popular,
class.
yes, yes, and that's all it's about is class. It is not just about ethnicity, not just. I ain't saying it's not, but it's not just that. It is about class, and so no one wants to speak out about it because it's unpopular politically. But if you want to talk about what's right, that is what's right. If you were to speak out on that,
A quick aside. You said that Bungie is doing it just for social credit. Bungie actually donated 40 million to three separate abortion NGOs in the United States between
That's such a lot of
2015
money.
and 2019. So it's
yeah,
not like they
you
just
still.
came out to say
Oh no, no,
something.
no. I'm not saying
They've
that.
been
You could
actively supporting
donate.
this stuff behind
You could
closed
donate to
doors.
whatever
And
you
now
want.
that they said it,
Yeah,
people
you can donate to
investigated them to
whatever.
see if they were saying it politically just, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Nope, wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't. Listen, even if I believed in it, I'm a pro life person anyway. But I'm not gonna say that somebody's a bad person for doing it because it's not. I ain't the judge of everybody else on the planet. So,
Right.
but at the same time, I might disagree with it, but I'm not gonna let my company go out there and say, "Hey, I think you need to support
We
this or
pick a
you shouldn't."
side.
I'm not. It's not. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's my company is to make money. My job is to make
So
money
what do
for
you
the
think about
company.
their donations? What do you think about them actually actively
I'm,
putting money
oh,
into these funds?
it must be something that I guess the shareholder, whoever holds the most share, really believes in. I guess
Okay.
all I could really say.
Okay. Cozy, I'm gonna let you go last because I think your word is very
Oh,
important on this
okay, I
subject.
see.
Word is bond.
Ham,
Yeah, word is
Ham,
bond.
Ham, you go next.
Okay. Well, I'm 100% with women making whatever choice that they want because as Bushido said, it ain't my life. that ain't something for me to decide for you. I mean, even voting for something like that is uncomfortable. It's like, why do you need my okay? But at the same time, I always feel a little weird whenever I see companies like full blown companies like saying anything political. It just makes me cringe a little bit. I mean, I'm happy
Anything
for the
political.
yeah, and just anything political really. It has
Anything.
nothing to do with yeah. How many times you gonna ask me the same question?
Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
So yeah, anything political. I'm just kind of like. I mean, I guess I kind of like the awareness about it, but I feel like I feel like sending tweets about it is not I feel like that's more of a hey look at us kind of situation sometimes. And I mean kudos to Bungie for, stepping up and putting some money down and whatever. But you got to kind of see that, they wouldn't be out saying this kind of stuff if they didn't, have a business to do that kind of stuff with. I just think it's weird. I always think it's weird whenever I see that. I don't really know if I have as much to say as Bushidi or maybe even you, Loke, but I always get uncomfortable when companies pander because I feel like it's bigger than the company and that maybe we should like I feel like maybe if you want to ride this wave or like catch or like hop on this wave of righteousness, we need to start building people more than we need to be building like pockets of these industries of we gave 14 million. Well, how about hey, we gathered this many people to get signatures and we got these people on standby. Like that's also like another thing I felt about like Black Lives Matter and whatnot. Instead of screaming at people that Black Lives instead of screaming, Black Lives Matters to everybody, why don't we like get more collective, people rounded up and together to actually do this stuff instead of like I don't know. It's really just a messy situation all around, and it's really hard to even gauge what to do. Everyone's doing the best that they can. It's just, is it the right way? You never really know until something happens.
Okay. A quick aside about the donations. I was actually going to go in on the whole Black Lives Matter front because
Let me guess, you
giving
think they're
money.
terrorists and they're harming the country?
No, 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 no. I laughed my ass off when they did someone did an investigation of their funds and whatever. When it turns out like the top people at Black Lives Matter are profiting big time
They all do that
from
though.
all the donations. And I'm like,
All of
oh,
them do
okay.
that.
So NGOs, regardless of who's at the top, because we know that lots of NGOs have issues about funds and where they actually go. I thought Black Lives Matter was different, and it wasn't. And
Anything that has money involved, it's ain't nothing ever going to be different.
for sure, for sure. Let's go into the chat before we give the mic over to Cozy. At Stagmore says Bungie said that they need to worry about getting some games out, not Roe v Wade. Um, it's like you know how a lot of people say to the basketball players, "Shut up and dribble." It's like shut up and make games.
Just make it.
Ed K Mega says, "I agree. Women's rights are important." K Mega also says, "Fact, we need police reform." At Stankmore says, "Cozy, what are we eating this time?" Oh yeah, that'll be fun. We should have like a segment just for what Cozy's eating.
That should be a set.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, a Ghost in the garage. Yo, welcome, welcome. Says both ways are strong, but in today's world, money moves mountains while signatures gain momentum. That's it's a
That's a good
very
point. So
fairly
Yeah, I like that.
sound take. Uh, K Mega, they did it. It marches. Did someone just drop out?
Cozy did. She'll be back.
Uh,
Yeah.
Stankmore says going down the BLM road is a long road. Okay. Okay. Before Cozy goes in, I just want to throw in a joke. Um, from one of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle. He says, or he said, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I support the right for women to have the right to do whatever they want with their bodies when they get pregnant or even before. But if you have the right, this is him talking about the women, right? If he's like the father, if you have the right to kill this motherfucker, I should have the right to at least abandon him. So
Oh
if
yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah, I
yeah, so
remember him
so
saying
if
that.
women, yeah, so and I completely agree with him on this one. If a woman gets pregnant by a dude and she wants to have the baby, or she wants to, or she wants to have the right to either terminate the pregnancy or continue
Have
with
the
the
child.
pregnancy, the
Yeah.
father should have the right to completely disconnect himself from that situation financially as well. Cozy, go.
Oh, first, let's discuss what I'm eating. These are nasty, but I will eat a
Yeah,
handful of
Of
them.
course
I figured
they're
everything else
nasty.
I
was
will
good
eat
stuff.
a handful of them just to show you. It's a smoked
Ooh.
oyster, and it just tastes like smoke and oil.
Oh,
Showing us that doesn't really help us to know that's what it tastes like, but we'll take your word for it.
put it closer to the camera. Let's see. Put
This
it
is a bad camera.
like really close to the camera. Okay. Okay. That's delicious. Go.
Not at all.
Mhm.
It's also the texture is kind of like a chewy egg yolk.
Ugh.
Bruh, like stop. Like,
Sorry.
like it wasn't that nasty until you continued to explain.
Man, you
Yeah.
found a
Yeah.
really, really messed up example too. A chewy egg yolk. Ugh.
Like egg yolk is already chewy,
Right.
right? So what the hell you
No, egg
mean?
yolks aren't chewy. Your egg yolk shouldn't be chewy.
How
Look
how
at
does egg
Cozy
yolk
with
ever
knowing the
be
texture. She's like, I know it. I've chewed it just up yesterday.
It is odd that she had something specific for it. You're right.
Oh man.
Anyways,
That's funny.
continue.
Okay.
So if you,
Cozy.
I hate to do this to you, Loke, but my opinion is probably a lot different than I guess what you're expecting.
No,
For
no, no.
one,
I'm expecting nothing.
I don't really care that much. It doesn't
What?
affect me. It does not. So the thing
What?
that the idea is like everyone's gonna be like, oh, this is something that affects you. I'm like, this literally has, you know how. So I think a
Oh,
lot
this
of
will be good.
people. So like I'm,
We need to make a YouTube short. Go, go, go.
being pro-choice, but at the same time being kind of like, meh, it's whatever. Is a weird place to be because if you look at the statistics of who's getting abortions, it's typically women who have made continual choices to have children. So you don't have a lot of people who are like, I had this one abortion. That's not. It's usually people, women that keep making the decision to continually. Now, the other thing is
That sounds
most like
judgmental.
no, that's the statistics of who is getting these. So a lot of the outrage is like these aren't a group of people that are going to widely be affected. As not as many as people. Not the other one is abortions are already going down with the natural cause, and and there's like all these theories of why they're trying to ban all this, but the numbers are already dropping. Um, And the other thing of note is that um, most abortions happen pretty early. So, and I mean, there is worry because a lot of times, like, these congressional people, when they're talking about like these bans, it's like they ban them for reasons that are, this is a medical necessity and stuff like that, which I do take issues with. But other than that, it's like the wide majority of this is like it's a non-issue to me. Sorry.
I don't think there's any
Okay, I
reason
was
to be
not
sorry at
expecting
all.
that. I was not okay, but I'm not. I'm shocked. I'm shit shocked right now. I was not expecting indifference from you, Cozy. I wow, just
That's why I always say
wow.
with Cozy, never expect anything.
Jesus,
I say
that
to
was
someone,
that
I
was
have
a left
7
hook.
siblings, and you know how many nieces and nephews I have?
How
One.
many?
1.
14.
1.
Oh.
Wow.
1. You know? So whenever it's like, oh, but you know, the need for it and stuff like that, I'm like, you know,
It's true. The birth rate has gone down. Like if I look at my situation as well, like my parents and my aunts and uncles, everyone had like 5, 6 kids. N- Uh, but when you look at all of us, like me, my siblings, and my cousins, everyone just has like 1 or 2, and that's it.
it's because I think everyone's looking at, they're just trying to bump up the population, and I actually think I agree with that. I think they are because capitalist society demands ever increasing growth, which you can't do if you're getting population stagnation. You know, we're getting more people, but it's like it's at a decelerating rate. So eventually
Mm,
we're going to hit the
mm,
point where it's a problem. Um so yeah, I get what they're trying to
you
do
don't
it, but
care.
I'm like, I don't think it's going to turn out the way it is because
Wow.
yeah, abortion isn't the
Ed
issue.
Stank, Ed K Mega says, "Wow, yeah, dude, I'm as shocked as you, buddy." Ed Stankmore says, "Good answer, Cozy."
Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Wait, you understood what
Um,
she said?
who understood?
No, I was at the stack. I was like, you understood what she said?
This is
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And you're still gonna eat it
seems
too,
like
aren't you?
Because the texture is interesting.
No, see,
no,
my
What's a
kids
weird
always
reason
no,
to
think
eat something?
Have you
my
never
kids
like
always
chewed
because
on
think
a
it
I always
balloon or
eat
because
the
it
whole
is
something?
thing.
interesting.
A balloon.
Or a rubber band?
You've eaten a rubber band before?
You don't eat them, you just chew on it. This is kind of like, it's like,
Wait, do you mean you still do now, or when you were in elementary school?
I'm not answering that, but I think that's what it is.
You just answered it. You just answered it, Cozy. How many
Um
chews on rubber bands today?
but I
Wow.
think the thing is, I think that's actually what this reminds me more of, like, especially when the rubber bands get a little old and they like deteriorate as you
Uh,
chew them.
wait, you chewed on one that? Okay, all right, okay.
Let's move on, please,
That's the answer. I accept
please. Um, the Nintendo Switch hits 107.6 million units sold.
Oh yeah.
Uh, this from our article on Game Rant. Earlier this year, Switch was already confirmed as the best-selling Nintendo home console of all time, beating the Wii, which sold 101.63 million. However, it still has a way to go before it matches the Nintendo DS, which sold 154 million units. Outside of Nintendo's own consoles, only the PS2 with 155 million have outsold the Nintendo Switch. A total of 39 titles sold over 1 million units during Nintendo's financial year 2022. As a result, software sales grew 1.8% year on year to $235 million, making it the highest annual software sales figure ever posted for a Nintendo platform to date, according to the company. The company confirmed that recent release Kirby The Forgotten Land sold 2.1 units in 2 weeks, while Pokemon Legends Arceus sold 12.64 million units, and Metroid Dread only managed 2.9 million units.
Oh, the tragedy.
Cozy, Cozy, you
Um
are a Nintendo expert. Go.
so I mean, the Switch has maintained momentum. It's got a solid catalog. I will say the one thing that sets like this Switch situation apart is the Switch situation, apart from a lot of other Nintendo's systems, a lot of other Nintendo systems, they had like, you know, your Pokemon, your Zelda, your Mario, you know, just those, you know, the staple games that would sell, and then everything else was like whatever. But with the Switch, it just seems like, you know, a lot the games are just selling too. Like even when you say only 2 point whatever million, that's a massive quantity in when you think about how
2.9 million.
much a game sells. Um and yeah, it's like a solid system, solid. I mean, I know people will be like the hardware though, but it does what it needs to do for the people playing it, myself included. And
Okay.
I think
Uh,
yeah.
Ham.
It's still really popular. It's been out for years now, and
Oh
it's
wow.
still putting up crazy numbers. And I think it, you know, the accessibility of it's really nice. They are really confident in what they have, and you can tell when a company is confident and just pretty cool, calm, and collected. And Nintendo is just straight up flexing what they have. I mean, they just sold everybody a OLED screen and a network port, and they're eating it. They're eating it like crazy. Um, they did. I mean, and you got to remember they came off of a horrible generation just prior to the
Yeah.
Switch. So to see this
Yeah.
kind of growth just kind of lets you know. I feel like if you are gonna use like one of those weather Doppler things that they call here in America, I don't know if they have them in Africa. Y'all probably still go outside to see what the weather's like. But we
Oh,
have these
this guy. This guy.
we have these we have these like radar things that we call like Doppler that will
These
show
weather
you what the weather is like. And if you're gonna read any company right now to see what the weather is like in gaming, I feel like you'd want to use Nintendo to read, because they're straight up telling you, yo, there are people out here, and there isn't just people like out here a little bit. Like there are a lot of people that want to consistently get into gaming, and we have the numbers right here to show you. Like every month we are putting up numbers, and we've been out since what was it, 2016, 20
17,
20
17.
was it 2017?
I
17. The
believe it was
Switch came out
17.
in 2017.
But to me that is that's insane, just to see that they are beating the new stuff. They're not they're not hanging out with the new stuff and staying near them. They're consistently toppling the new
They're
stuff. And
whooping
yeah,
that
yeah,
trick.
but I understand, there are like constraints, right? I'm sure it is easily harder to find parts for your PlayStation and Xbox compared to a Switch.
But I
When you
mean, when
think,
you think about it though, even if it's yeah, so
But they're
like
still more or less
um
in the same price range.
impressive
But hold
That's
on
why
a
I think
situations
they
second.
such
really
as
need to flip them.
remember how long Splatoon 2 was on like the and even like
That's
Mario Kart, like remember how long those games just stayed on the bestseller list for like literally. I know in Japan Splatoon 2 was like over a year. It was just basically selling and selling. The top of the list, pretty much top 10.
I don't remember because I don't keep up with Nintendo
I
stuff.
do remember that because I was interested
Uh,
with
It,
all right, yeah,
with
let's go ahead, Bushido. Go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying that Splatoon 2 was a I was interested in it because it looks like a fun game, but um their fan base
About the
is
sales.
they've got the biggest fan base because the biggest fan base in all gaming is casuals, not the rabbit fans, not the zealots, the
man,
fanboys,
those are some
but
facts right
it's
there.
the casuals, man. Listen, the kids. How many times? Listen,
Mm.
if you're down a highway right now, me, Ham, or cozy. And if we
Yeah,
looked
we
out
don't
our
have
right,
highways around here.
you do?
Oh.
We don't. We don't. We don't even have roads. It's
I
just
thought you
bush
got
everywhere.
They just have houses that Westbrook
already
set
knew
up for
that.
them.
That Westbrook.
Westbrook out here building the towers, man,
He's giving back.
skyscrapers.
All Africa has is Akon and Westbrook.
Yeah, but they're made out of
Oh,
prison stuff, right? They in
Ham.
sticks. Anyway, so
Oh my God. Go ahead, Bushido. Keep it moving. Keep
Keep
it
it
moving.
together.
Unlike
so
Westbrook, who hogs the ball, keep it moving, man.
all right, okay. The casual base. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say about the highway thing. If you look out your right window, I guarantee you, if you see kids in there, you're gonna see it, out of 1 out of 3 cars, the kids will all have switches. And I'm talking about if it's 3 or 4 kids in there, they'll all have a switch. If the switch goes down to $1.50 this winter, I'm telling you, the numbers will skyrocket because not only will you get more casuals buying them, but then you'll get even more hardcore fans will buy them because, oh man, it's only 150. All right, yeah, I get that. Look, it's already $200 for the what is the Switch Lite? It's already 100. It's already $200. If you drop it down 50, I promise you, it'll just be bananas. Then after that, but yeah, they're locked down that whole casual base, kids, and things like that. That's why it's the way it is.
So, according to Bushido, Nintendo is for children and people that don't actually play video games
That's not
that
true,
much.
Logue. I feel like what Bushido is saying, and I
Well,
mean, disagree with me if you
we're
want,
talking about
but
casuals
but
for
all
sure.
right, stop real quick and let me finish my thought. What I was what I was getting at is like a lot of people like myself when and you can say it as well, like most gamers out there obviously are casual gamers. What do you
Hmm.
know that a lot of casual gamers know? What did they play when they grew up? Well, they probably played, well, they for sure played Mario,
Nintendo.
right? They for
Hmm.
sure played Mario. What does a parent like myself like to do for my kid? I like to show them old TV shows that I watch, old video games that I
Hmm.
watch. I'm not that big into TV, right? But another person
Hmm.
might be big into TV and they're showing a kid a
Dragon
crazy
Ball.
catalog. Dragon Ball Z. They're showing them Doug, Hey Arnold, all these old
Back on
shows, you
Titan.
know? Yeah, sure,
Hmm.
Attack on Titan, Trigun, whatever. I mean, if they're showing them
Wait, you
Attack
showed
on
children
Titan, they're
Attack on
crazy.
Titan?
If they're showing them
Children?
Attack on Titan, they're crazy. But
So
they
yeah,
could be.
Okay.
We were
But
allowed to watch RoboCop.
but they could be. But what I'm getting at
Fair point.
is
Fair point.
what
That
what
was
what
OTT.
I'm getting at is I'm a person that will show my daughter an Xbox and like PlayStation and all these like Super Nintendo and stuff like that, whatnot. But most people, as we just got done explaining, are casuals. So the go-to system, which is easy for them to think about, oh yeah, I played a lot of Mario growing up, I'm gonna want to buy a Switch. So now you're showing all your kids Switches and stuff like that. Now they're really interested because not only is the Switch dope and I can play it on the TV, but I can take it with me. And a lot of people want to give their kids something to do when they're at the doctor's office, going shopping, in the car. Just give them a screen to look at and, leave you alone for a little while. And the Switch just makes it really easy and it's not that expensive.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
kind of what
Makes
I heard
games for
from Bushido.
everyone. It makes games for
F-
they make games for everyone. For everyone. Not just the dude bros. They make games for everyone.
Oh, look at that. That's a low blow. That's a low
It's
blow.
true though.
You kept it for Nintendo, huh? They don't make
It's
games just
true.
for the dude bros. It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
You should hand in your CV to Nintendo. I bet you could get a job at Nintendo.
I see what you're doing.
The last
Okay.
place I went that had the last person's house that I've been to where they were a casual gamer, we were playing You Don't Know Jack off of their Switch. Like,
That's
that's what
actually a
I'm
fun
saying.
game.
Was it fun?
Oh yeah, it was fun, but it's just like a question game. But
Yeah.
what's crazy about that Jack game is it has like an online service in which you can get like a phone app, and then you're looking at your phone so nobody else can see like your answers.
Okay.
So
I used to
it's
do a
so I thought it was pretty dope. It's like an app on its own, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, even if you're not really into gaming, a Switch is really accessible for that kind of person at a super duper low price.
Like for me personally, the Switch, or yeah, the Switch is just something that like re- I think it sells specifically because of what you and Bushido said, which is the portability. Because everything else for me is just man, this is gonna give me some flack, but whatever. The Nintendo for me is just mid, man. It's just like whatever, dog. Like you might as well play games on on your phone and stuff like that.
Well, we say the same thing about McDonald's, right? But they sling in the most
Yeah,
burgers.
and they sell the most. Yes, yes. I'm not even arguing the sales, but I'm saying that's probably what, from my point of view, that's probably why they do those crazy sales. And the only thing that I love about Nintendo that they're still doing until now, they seem to be the only people or the only company worried about delivering finished products once, and they're not worried for the most part, they're not worried about, okay, buy this $60 game, but also here's like 10,000 microtransactions to go with it. You know,
I mean,
That might be because of their limitation with online or not. I don't know, but the fact remains that when you buy a Nintendo game, you're gonna play it. There's 95% chance that the game is finished, and that's it. So for me, that's a big win for the Nintendo guys.
they do have
Personally,
DLC,
yeah, yeah, but it
but
doesn't make up the majority of the catalog.
no,
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm trying to
saying is, but their
point
DLC
out.
is different because it's not like you're missing part of the game. You just get like a
Mm,
lot of extra. And a lot of their
okay,
games they have offered free stuff too. Like I know of Animal Crossing, they had a paid DLC, but it was like after. And of course, I bought it because I don't mind. Or even for
of
Splatoon,
course you did. Of course you did.
no, it added a lot. It wasn't like just like a small little DLC. Um,
Yeah.
but
So
you
these
know,
numbers, sorry, go on, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but when you said like, oh, I could just play on my phone, they don't, because of who the kind of people play games on phone are. There aren't really, you're not going to find really phone games like that.
Oh, what do you mean by you kind
No,
of people?
on Apple, it's got some awesome. The Apple Arcade has got some awesome games on there. You could
Yeah, but
compare
they're not
to Nintendo.
Nintendo like games. They're not like Nintendo.
Okay, Bushido wants to go at you. Go ahead, Bushido.
Okay, go.
Go for the neck. Go for the neck.
I mean, I was actually more against you with the Apple with the phone games because they're being. What'd you say? Because they're because they're expensive. So what was your point you're making?
No, no, they're not expensive. I don't think they're good games. I don't think
Oh,
Nintendo
okay,
games are good games. I think they're
okay,
stuck in the past.
yeah, but that
That's
the deal with them is the nostalgia factor for them is so
Yeah,
big.
man. It's selling. It's selling, man. You
Yeah,
know what? I'm not condoning the use of cocaine, but cocaine in 1970 and cocaine in 2022, the shit is banging, man. You don't have to change. I'm not condoning, again, I'm not condoning the use of the drug. I'm just saying that it's still banging, so why change the recipe?
I mean, they do
I'm just saying
change
for
the
me,
recipe though.
I'm good.
we said they do
What?
change
Okay,
because they
cozy,
had crack.
cozy. Guys, we're not going down this road. We are not going down this road.
It's
Let's
the
go to the
truth
chat
though.
real quick. No, cozy. Talk about Viva Pinata. Nelson Gaming says, I just woke up. I don't want to go to work. Nelson, let me tell you something, man. Work is just like gym. On the way, you're going to hate yourself, but when you're there, It's gonna be worth it.
No, you're gonna hate yourself
Uh,
when you're there, and then you're only gonna be happy
Yeah,
on your way
that's
home.
another. The
no,
gym is
Don't
no.
listen to it.
that's a
Ed
bad correlation.
Stankmore.
There's a reason it's called work.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Ed Stankmore says, just curious, what are you planning on or what are you playing on Switch, Cozy?
Dang, low.
Ed Nelson says, awesome for keeping kids' mouths shut on car rides. God bless Nintendo.
Yep.
Ed Stankmore says, imagine if Nintendo got their online together. Okay, Cozy, please
Yeah,
tell
the
Stankmore what you're playing on Switch.
Playing answered.
Playing what?
What?
ACNH. ACNH. That was the answer. Animal
Wh-
Crossing.
What the hell? What the hell
That's
is?
Animal
Oh,
Crossing
it's
New Horizons.
Animal Crossing. Oh, okay. Let's get out of the Nintendo universe,
Didn't know they had acronyms
please.
inside of.
Whatever, man. Notable tweets. I
Uh-oh.
picked some. No, they're not that bad. Come on, it's gonna be fun. At Gene Park says, echoing everyone with the DRM problem is the biggest issue I have with Xbox. It's crazy how I can't play games I bought and own because they can't get their shit together. Imagine not being able to read a book because of the publisher's house in England is on fire.
What?
Bushido, go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's why we have this section of the show. It's fun. People talk a lot of crap.
oh,
Go.
man. I gotta get. Oh man, I gotta get in. Oh man, I gotta get involved with that more often because that one was just off the wall.
What happened?
was
I was on a phone call. What happened?
Okay, notable tweets.
read it
Notable
again,
tweets.
please.
Here we go. At Gene Park says, echoing everyone that the DRM is the biggest issue I have with Xbox. It's crazy how I can't play games I bought and own because they can't get their shit together. Imagine not being able to read a book because the publisher's house in England is on fire.
It's oddly specific.
Bushido, go.
First of all, what's a house in England? And how do you know it's in England? And
Bro,
two,
did you not know that England is the only place that makes books? What's wrong with you?
yes. That's because of Hogwarts is around the corner from the publishing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Right.
That isn't
That was
real.
that was
Right,
that
so-
was ignorant of me. Yeah. Oh
So what's your
my
take on this
God.
one?
It's fun. It's just funny to me. It's nothing else. To me, it's a person who reasoning is not going to work with this person for that analogy. Secondly, I just thought that was just so funny because the house is on fire. What does the house being on fire have to do with not being able to read or play a game? If the Microsoft building burned down, which is not where the servers are,
Exactly.
yeah. So
I guess in
yeah,
this
maybe you
example,
should
the
rethought that.
servers is the house.
Oh man, that's too freaking
But all the
funny.
servers aren't in one place. I get that it's an issue,
Man.
but that's like not the way.
Go ahead, Cozy. Go ahead.
I get that it's an issue. I'm
so
not
funny.
one of those people that's gonna be dismiss it or whatever. I think they need to fix their DRM. And I get that it's an issue because it's frustrating if you're like, oh, but I actually would like more details specifically with what happened because I can't say much other than that. Yes, if there's some sort of outage, I'm not going to be able to use my stuff because, like I said earlier, I game share. So I would like to know the specific details of like what caused the issue where I don't game share and I have my Xbox set to home, but I can't because that would in fact help them fix it. Like I don't expect to not have that same sort of issue happen. I've had it happen before, and I know it'll happen again. But for those that shouldn't be having the issue, I would like more detail about exactly. But that's
Yeah,
beside the
which
comment.
Okay, Ham, go.
Yeah, this is a confusing description. Can you read it one more time?
yes, I did it again.
Uh,
I
Bushido's
just-
having too much fun with this one. This is not
Yeah.
stand up, Bushido.
Can you use
I'm
it in a
sorry.
Here we
I am
go.
sentence?
really enjoying that one. I'm
And I
sorry.
quote, echoing everyone that the DRM is the biggest problem I have with Xbox. It's crazy how I can't play games I bought and own because they can't get their shit together. Imagine not being able to read a book because the publisher's house in England is on fire.
It's like I got brought
Also
up
true.
like I was like, I hear you, I hear you, I hear. Whoa,
What?
what the fuck are you talking about? It's like I was completely behind him. I was completely
Like,
behind
repeat
him,
the
and I
whole
was
time
like,
until that last part.
We were
Wow.
rooting
Big
for
left
you.
turn.
bro,
We were rooting for you.
it's like we were
Big
just
left turn.
speeding. It's like we were speeding down the highway, going the way that I was like, sweet, we're almost to town, and he's just like,
And then,
exit, and he just left the conversation and just like plugged in a random thought behind it.
oh my goodness. Or they just got off an off ramp that was going the opposite direction. Okay. Next one.
Something right.
Next one. Next one. At oh god. Why do these people have weird names? At Wael has no says consumers aren't concerned about that stuff. Fans are. The majority of console gamers are too casual to care about exclusivities. You see what you expose yourself to, and social media slash Twitter is a haven for shit takes and narratives. Uh, Bushido, go.
I mean, that one's better than the first one. I'm kind of disappointed actually because I was expecting to get another dumb one. Um, I mean, yeah, he has a point, but he's wrong because it isn't just the casuals, and then I don't know. It's a wider thing than just that just that notion. Unfortunately, in gaming is one of the few industries that you don't really get an inside look enough to see how things work. And yeah, I can't really go any further than that. Yeah, it's not as bad as the
Okay.
other one. I'm kind of disappointed.
Okay, Ham, go.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Bushido. It's not as bad, but it's just like
Yeah.
I feel like he's just more naive
Right.
than just saying something dumb like Gene Park said.
Wait, so he's
Like,
naive by saying the majority of console gamers are too casual to care about exclusivities.
yeah, I absolutely think that's
He's right though.
naive.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I
Mm,
the casuals, yes. But as far the hardcore is mainly worried about that. But it's not like that doesn't affect them too because casuals go off of what everybody else says.
mm.
Yeah.
So if everyone else says that Nintendo's the best, then they're just gonna go for Nintendo,
I mean, mostly if you're an ignorant gamer, it just depends.
which is
There's
which is what's
too many
happening now.
catalysts. There's too many catalysts that go along with that. It's too many things that caveats. I'm sorry, I said catalysts. Caveats that go along with that. Like the person came away from gaming and the person is just getting back at it. The person only likes certain types of games, platformers. It's a lot of stuff to go along with it. I could agree with it to some degree, but I think there is some naivety to it of ignorance of not really understanding the wide scope when it comes to gaming that I can't sit and say that everybody's this way or everybody's that way or this specific group
All
is
right,
that way.
all right.
that's kind of what I'm getting at because it's like I've known a lot of people that are, casual gamers or they only play one game, but they
Yep.
still want like the hard copies of the games. They still want like the real versions of the stuff because it's the only thing that they're gonna really mess around with. So I
Mm,
mean, like that's why think that's just like making a broad assumption like that is kind of naive.
Right.
okay, Cozy, go.
Uh, I think I don't know. I think most people like the options, but they don't necessarily want to play all that stuff. They're just like, I just want to have the option of playing it. But most people don't care. Most casuals play whatever is just like
That's what
the
the numbers
trending.
show.
Yeah, most
That's
casuals
what the
just play
numbers show.
whatever's popular and trending. Um,
Yeah.
and they don't really search
And
beyond that. Um,
yeah,
which is
the
why,
numbers show that it's Call of Duty, FIFA,
yeah,
NBA 2K.
which is why sometimes I think the conversation's weird because it's sort of like, oh, like what do casuals play? And they're like, oh, this game's for casuals. Like that's not what they're actually playing.
I feel like a lot of people
Mm.
don't know that they don't like that they don't consistently always have access to it. Like this DRM thing is not surprising to people like us, but you ask somebody that got a console, they're just gonna tell you, yeah, I own that game. I own every piece of it. I bought it. I owned it. They don't know about this whole DRM thing. It's not an issue yet, and it hasn't been an issue long enough. Like a server hasn't been down for 2 weeks
Yeah.
or like a month in like a long time, right? Since like Sony had their issue, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But like that wasn't even a game issue. That was just a playing online issue.
Right.
So like we haven't had a big enough problem where people don't have access to what they want to play. And that's kind of a knock against Xbox a little bit on this because they don't have enough people noticing to make it as large of a deal as it could possibly be down the line.
Mm.
Because imagine if
Yeah.
Nintendo did that for 4 days, it'd be crazy.
Yep.
The thing is, Nintendo is not like an online dependent platform. That's what's great.
Oh,
about
but
them.
look, but
Same
all
question.
systems have DRM, right?
Yeah, but I think
Yes.
what he meant.
I'm just
Yes.
messing
yes,
with you.
Yes. Yes, dude. Okay. For me, this whole casual thing, I just honestly, it just keeps reminding me. It's like a bludgeon over my head. It just keeps reminding me, dude. Both of your consoles are fighting for second place. That's pretty much it. Because video games, if aliens came here and someone was tasked, one of the aliens was tasked with analyzing video games, like the numbers that games like God of War, Halo, um, all these exclusives from PlayStation and Nintendo, the numbers that they pull in, it's nothing. It's a speck of dust next to Nintendo.
I
And
mean,
the way people pretend like it's not true, or the way people pretend like Nintendo doesn't really exist, for me is just
it's
it's
because
weird.
it allows
I
them
think
to
it's so
like
strange.
it
It is
allows
so
them to
strange.
dismiss that community as like irrelevant and stuff, even though there are like for example even with the Wii U. The Wii U, you look at the consoles numbers, it had
Yeah,
really sad number. But then look at those game sales.
Yeah.
It had
exactly.
it was like, so you mean to tell me like that just about everyone who bought this system bought this game?
Cozy. The Wii sold 101 million.
No,
And
the Wii U. It sold like 13
okay,
million.
sorry.
It sold like
Okay,
13 million.
okay.
But then some of the games that sold for it were still
Uh-huh.
like, because the first Splatoon was on the
Crazy
Wii U,
amounts.
and it sold a ridiculous amount compared to the install base. It was like, so this game is just very popular.
Okay, sorry, let's go back to the chat. Ed Nelson says my oldest favorite games: 1 Mega Man, 2 Mario Odyssey, 3 Sonic. Two of these
Respectable
games are
choice.
about to two of these games are about to turn 30 years old. Make it make sense. Ed Stankmore says Ed Nelson faming Mega Man X was heat back in the day. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's turning into a love fest for the classics. Ed Metlikes Game says, "Listen, I'm not going to pretend I'm not late. At least you're
Wait,
consistent,
what did
bro.
he say?
At least you're consistent."
Hey,
He says,
Matt.
I'm not gonna pretend I'm not late. He's always late. That's his. It's his shtick. It's his thing. Okay, let's
I
move
got
on to the next one. Phil Spencer from his official Twitter account says, and I quote, "These decisions are hard on teams making the games and our fans. While I fully support giving teams time to release these great games when they are ready, we hear the feedback. Delivering quality and consistency is expected. We will continue to work to better meet those expectations." Ham,
Uh-oh.
if you could say something, let's pretend Phil Spencer right now is in the chat. He's watching. They said we said live. Say something to him. Go.
Just just stop. Just stop telling us exactly when something's going to come out unless you do it like you rolled out Tango. Because I really like the way that they rolled out, even though it was for PlayStation, but they rolled out Ghostwire Tokyo like 2 months, like 2 or 3 months before the game came out, and said, "This is the release date for this. Here you go. Get ready to download it." Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
I thought
I remember.
that was like, to me, that's like the perfect way to roll things out nowadays. And I
Remember
think
how they
that
dropped Fallout 4? That was fantastic.
mm, I ended up buying
They
Fallout
announced
4.
it. Yeah, they
Me
announced it in
too.
E3, and like 2 or 3 months later, bam, it's there. That was great.
Yeah, but that's what that's kind of what I would tell him if I were to say anything to him personally. I'd just be like, "Yo, like, let's be more consistent on how we roll things out and not have one game that we're talking about being rolled out a year and a half in advance, and then later on you find that another game is just announcing they're coming out, but it's 3 week or 3 months before the actual launch, which to me is perfect because that actually says you're confident in what you got and it's ready to go, compared to might get delayed, you know. And that's kind of where we're at with Starfield and Redfall, because it's like the summer was getting a little too close for Redfall and Starfield. Well, let's go ahead and announce that event real quick before we let some bad news on them
All right, so before Ham turns this into a 1 hour segment, Kozi,
real
if you could
quick.
speak, if you could speak to Phil Spencer right now, what would you say?
I would just say, we just want what we want is like more games that were just like that are engaging without just having to rely on like, oh, what else is out. And I think they need to give us a better table for when, you know, what games. And I think the other problem is like, I get it, triple, quadruple A games are like, the big
Wow,
thing. But I
Kozi
think
leaning into that.
there's an argument to be made for getting like, you have to have some studios that can make smaller experiences that would just be like able to make successful.
Hmm.
But I argue with you
Okay.
on that, Cozy, because isn't Game Pass doing that right now? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've played more small games than I ever have before in the last like
Yeah.
couple of years, because
Yeah.
Game Pass is suggesting
Well,
all these
no, and
I
smaller
played more
games.
games.
I agree with
Period.
that, but the thing is, you want them to be games where it's like the highlight of their exist. It's like, you know, their own games, their own in-house games, not having to rely on other people to create these
Third party.
experiences.
That's why
Yeah.
they bought Activision, though, right? That's one of the reasons that they bought Activision, in my eyes, is to be able to, grab a hold of that mobile port and these games that people play. Just your basic Karen plays every day, or
Ham is
whatnot.
salty about Xbox today.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
I'm not
I can't
salty about
believe you
Xbox.
say it's your preferred console, but you're going in hard today on Xbox.
I feel like a lot of people don't do that, which is completely inappropriate to me. It's like, dude, if you're a fan, if you're really a fan of this console,
Demand better.
then you should always
Want them to do better.
Well, you should be there to, jump up and down when they do something dope, but like you should be extra critical too, and not just be like, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, they did it again. It's okay. Oh, they're coming around. Like, no, man. Like, it's like, I mean, it's like they want to give them a participation trophy. It's like that kind of energy that I feel from some people. It's like this participation trophy feeling like, oh, you almost got it. Maybe next time, buddy. We got this, buddy. We'll get right back to training. And it's like,
Oh my
nah,
God.
man. If you told him straight up, if you told him, yo, bro, that was a fucking L. Maybe that might light a fire up under their ass a little bit more than saying, maybe next time it's okay, Johnny. Come on, let's go to McDonald's.
Wow, Ham, you're really trying to turn this into a 1 hour segment. Okay,
Just
you know what?
keeping
Let's
it
go to
real.
chat.
You asked my
Mad Likes
suggestion.
Games. Mad Likes Games says Ham is parading. Hallelujah. Just stop giving out release dates a year and a half in advance. The delay wouldn't be a big deal at all if they didn't announce it so early. Nelson Gaming says you got to see a game before they give any dates. That is incorrect. We didn't get anything from Fallout until like 2 or 3 months before launch, and that was fine. Eternal Umbra says, "Yo, what's up, Ham, Cozy Loke, and
What up,
who
Eternal?
invited Bushido? Who invited Bushido?
What new?
Bushido, do you want to address Eternal? Man,
No,
Umbra coming in with
no,
heat.
I'll talk to him when I get home. You just better have that room cleaned up. Is all I gotta say.
Oh my
He
Okay,
said,
okay.
son. He said,
Bushido,
boy.
Bushido. If Phil Spencer was watching this chat, what would you say to him? Go.
I would say exactly what Ham said, but since I'm a little bit different, I would just ask more. I'm inquisitive. I would ask questions like, "Yo, bro, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, you said 1 minute that it was a go and it was done. Like, I want to know why all of a sudden now it's not done. I know in corporations they say a lot of things, and then they can fall back off of it. Like, we said this, but you know, what you gonna do?
We ain't really mean it.
Yeah. Oops.
Well, first off,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not trying to defend Phil Spencer, but I can imagine a company the size of Xbox. Phil Spencer is probably not at the Bethesda office on a daily basis checking on the progress of the development of Starfield. He probably gets like weekly or maybe monthly updates, and then
Right.
the marketing team probably also gets the same information, and then they put out this information based on whatever was reported. But we're all adults in this chat. We've all had jobs. We all know how sometimes reports don't really reflect the reality on the ground, and then the information will get to the higher ups way later, and then suddenly there's emergency meetings and some motherfuckers getting fired. Things happen. I'm not trying to defend Phil Spencer here. I'm just saying the full picture. People are calling Phil Spencer a liar, like him as a person. I don't think that's particularly fair. I get it. It's a funny meme and stuff like that. But if anyone is saying that unironically, that Phil Spencer purposefully did this, then I personally I don't want to engage in conversation with this person, because this person is just I don't know, man. Like it's worse than disingenuous. It's worse than disingenuous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on this one.
If you know what?
I was gonna say, I'm kind of with Bushido when he says I'd have a question, because I'd have a question as well. My question would be like, why can you guys just not fumble one, like just one thing, just one thing, like I guess we can technically say Forza Horizon wasn't fumbled much, but I mean, it had its online issues heavily on the way out of the door. I guess the only thing I can really say they didn't fumble on that was dope that I thoroughly enjoyed was Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 was fire. But
Yes.
but I mean, as for like a big, massive, like big time game like a like a Halo type of game, or Starfield, or even what is it, or yeah, I don't know, just I just want them just to be like, yo bro, and actually be able to flex on what they say and have it just kind of go through, because as of right now, to me, it's just like, man, like every time I hear something I get excited, but now it's kind of like I need to temper my excitement a little bit more, and they kind of did that to themselves a little bit, and I
Yep.
feel like there's a lot of other people that are kind of with me on that thought process, where it's like, man,
Yeah,
I was super excited, but you guys done did it again. And I mean, and a lot of people want to, say, hey, this is because of fanboy stuff, and I think that is another shit excuse from people. It's like, no, man, we're just used to this rhetoric that Xbox will say, yo, look, 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 and then you're just sitting on the corner waiting. They say the bus is coming, but it ain't came in fucking years.
Ham, if we lived on the same continent, like I would want to find your house
Give you a
and
hug.
just give you a hug, man, because I haven't seen you down like
Oh,
this in a while, bro. Like I feel really bad for you right now. Jeez, like you're really upset about this. Wow. Let's move on to the last
hey guys,
notable tweet.
I have
This
to
one's
I have
about
to actually go because my
sorry?
show is up. My show is on in a couple of minutes, so I gotta roll out. But you guys ever need me again? I'd love to come in again. I enjoy myself.
Bye. See you
I
in a bit. Bit, 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 bit.
cheers.
Bit, bit, bit,
Exactly,
bit, 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 bit,
exactly.
bit, bit,
Because
bit, 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 bit.
I understand what
Okay.
she's saying. You a little cozy.
Okay. Now that we're done with that awkwardness, the last notable tweet
All right, guys. You
comes
guys have a good
comes
one now.
from all right, cheers. It comes
From
from at living scribe. This one's about the Halo movie. Sorry, not movie. The Halo TV show. Cozy probably still hasn't seen it.
I have almost
Ham,
caught up with it.
yeah, sure. Uh, and I quote: "A Master Chief has intercourse with some random Covenant traitor because the Halo show removed the fact that Cortana jerks him off in his suit." Ham, Ham, are you still?
What the hell? Just what the hell?
Yeah, man. Did you watch the episode?
I
What the
watched
hell
this
to
last
to the
episode.
actual? No, what the hell to the episode, not to the comment, man. To the episode. That's what
No,
I
well,
would say.
I'm saying what the hell to the comment. I mean, the episode. I mean, I'm kind of with people where they say that wasn't necessary. To me, it wasn't necessary at all. But I guess, I mean, they want to appeal to whoever they want to appeal to. So, I mean, that piece of the show I'm not there for at all. I'm there for the action.
Mm,
I'm there for the good pieces of the story.
the good bro stuff.
Love Life for Chief is not a story that I'm interested in that whole Halo show. Not at all.
Mm. Cozy.
I'm not that far caught up.
I did that on purpose. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, for me, the whole thing is just, yeah, man. Ham, you know how much I love the show at the beginning, right? I was completely in love with this thing, and it's falling off the rails.
Oh, you
I don't
stop.
know what's happening.
That end of that
I'm
same
serious.
episode was fire.
All right, fine, 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 fine. That's fair. That's fair. But episode 7 for me was one of the most horrific 45 minutes of my life.
That was
Okay?
rough. That was kind of a tough
That
episode.
was terrible. Like that was on par with whatever episode you want to pick of Game of Thrones season 8.
You're talking
Okay?
about like the kind of like episode away from Chief, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't like how away from Chief they were for a whole
For me,
episode.
I don't mind them being away from Chief, dude.
I didn't like it.
Like if you read the books, if you watch like the anime and the cartoons around Halo, there's lots of stories that are not directly focusing on the Master Chief, and it's fine. It's
I
just that
felt
this
like it was too
specific,
early.
oh man, like Cozy was talking about me being canceled for saying some, I don't even know what I said earlier on in the show, but I'm telling you, man, this Quan Ha thing, if this keeps going on, I will get canceled. I will get canceled. As far as the whole Cortana being a voyeur thing, that was awkward, man. That was very weird. It
You know
it
you
tied into
enjoyed
the
it.
to the ending. It, it tied into the ending, and yeah, but I don't know, man. Master Chief clapping cheeks. I don't know. It's just, yeah. And let's go to the chat. Eternal Umbra says, kick Bushido off. Your wish is our command. Ed Stankmore says, I'm a fan of the Halo story in game. Show looked mid. No, it did not. The show was fine till episode 5. Okay. Episode 6 was, no, episode 7, sorry. Episode 7 was horrible. And 8 was just okay-ish. Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. We're going now for the game predictions and results. Uh, Last week's uh, selection was only 2 games because it's dry. We're continuing the theme of lack of games. Salt and Sacrifice came out on the 10th of May. Cozy said it would get a 74 Metacritic score. Ham said it would get a 77. Cozy got that one right because the actual score was 73.
Oh
The
yeah.
second game was Evil Dead. The game came out on the 13th, so yesterday. Cozy said it would get a 78. Ham said it would get an 81. Actual score 80. So Ham got that one. So you guys split last week. This week is dry again. It's just 2 games. The first one is Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, coming out on PlayStation 5, Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So everybody gets a Masquerade. Cozy, what's your prediction for this one?
83.
79.
What? You know, this is a role playing thriller game, right? 83.
I'm
Okay.
saying
Ham says
79.
79. All right. It's locked in. It's locked in. The second one is U- Umurangi Generation, coming out on this. Oh, wow. This is an exclusive for those that say Xbox has no games. Umurangi Generation coming out exclusive to the Series X and S and the Xbox One, coming out on May the 17th. It's a critically acclaimed photography game.
Oh,
Probably why it's exclusive. Cozy, what's the score you're predicting for this one?
67.
You Xbox hater in Cozy. Ham,
How do you
what's the
even
score?
spell that?
How do you even do what?
For which
Spell it.
game?
Umurangi. UMURANGI, generation.
And what was your score, Cozy?
69 was
Cozy
it?
says 67. You said
Oh,
67,
67.
Cozy.
Okay,
Don't
oops, my
no
bad.
backsies.
67. Oh, I can't go lower.
I'm gonna say 73. I'm gonna say
I can't
73.
go low. 73. So Ham is more positive. Okay. Uh oh my goodness. What a show we have had, ladies
Shit.
and gentlemen.
Oh, apparently it's because it's already out on Switch.
Oh, so that's why it's only coming out on Xbox. Okay.
Actually looks good.
Okay.
Never mind, I take that back.
Too late.
You said 67. You said
Oh no
67.
I take it back because I was like whatever, and then I was like, I might buy this.
Okay. So, whew, that was hectic, guys. Ham, take us out.
All right.
That
Thanks
was
everybody for watching.
awesome.
Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and make sure that you are here with us next week, Friday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, give or take 15 minutes. But anyways,
Shut up, Ham. You foul for that.
But anyways, you can also catch me on Behind Them Six every Tuesday and Thursday as well. Next week we have The Cringe Man, and then also Sensei 808 from Talk Story Podcast. So definitely make sure that you're here for that. And then, yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you come back and see us on some more bullsitting. Take it easy, y'all.
Deuces. Bye.
Yeah, I think I made the right decision removing quiz.
Yeah. I want to welcome y'all to Ray's World.